I'd be a lot more smoother if I just read from a script. Unfortunately, I just shoot from the hip. Oh, get him. God, that's so lame. I've had something brought to my attention. Somebody said to me, man, I got on your channel, and then I got on your Instagram, and I saw the workouts you've been posting, and man, I gotta say, I'm intimidated by that stuff. And I just looked at this guy and I said, are you being serious right now? And he said, yeah. I look at, the pictures of, like your programming, like where you write out your workouts and you post them. And he's like, man, I take one look at that and I just think, there's no way I could do that. With all of the content we have out there in regards to fitness, I mean, you get on YouTube, you get on Instagram, you get on TikTok, and you see countless videos of bodybuilders, powerlifters, Olympic lifters, CrossFitters. You see fitness influencers doing all these like bizarre, crazy things that, let's be honest, it's not normal. That's, a large majority of the influencer content out there is not normal stuff. It's entertainment. That's what it is. That's what it's meant to be. So don't get lost in that stuff. I mean, but it's easy to do so. You see these, I'll use bodybuilding for example. You see these large, imposing figures doing their workouts and doing their sessions, and you just see these massive bodies, and you just think, why would I want to be that? Why would I want to? Again, that's not the norm. It's not. I mean, sure, there are aspiring bodybuilders out there, guys and gals that want to compete in that sport. There's amateurs out there that aspire to be that small percentage that you see and that a lot of people are intimidated by. If that's what you want to do, by all means, go for it. Please. But if it's not what you want to do, that's okay too. Now, where do I start? Like, cause this conversation that this guy and I were having, he goes, I mean, where do I start? And I said, well, you could start either by the stuff that I post, or you can find something out there that maybe get you going. And he said, well, the stuff that you post, I just don't know. I mean, I don't have a place where I could do that kind of stuff. I don't have this, I don't have a setup. Man, if you don't have the setup for something in which, like what I do, that's okay too. You got, find what works for you. First of all, figure out what it is you want to do. If you want to bodybuild. If you want to isolate movements and build muscle, if that's you, go for it. If you want to be fit, and use the approach. This is the approach I take. This is the methodology that I use. Constantly varied functional movements performed at a high intensity. The movements that I do throughout my workouts, they're supposed to be movements that take place in your day-to-day life. The training that I'm doing is supposed to help me be more functional for day-to-day life. That's it. Now, I mean, I do have some parts where I bro out and I try to be strong with some movements, and that's just part of it too. But for the most part, though, anytime you look at my conditioning pieces, you're gonna see stuff that just looks like, it just looks bizarre. But understand this. Number one, if you're intimidated by that stuff, that's okay. Like, if you're new to it all and you see it, that's okay. It's okay to kind of have that initial intimidation towards it, because one, you might not know anything about it. That's all right. Number two, if you look at that and are intimidated by it, understand that anything can be scaled down. I don't want to say that there are, fitness levels. Fitness levels are subjective. They are. It varies person to person. I might program a workout to where the prescribed weight for a conditioning piece on there for a Metcon is 155 pounds. That same workout that I prescribed 155 pounds for, it can be scaled down. If 155 is not for you, that's okay. Go 135, go 115, go 95, go 75. Whatever it is you have to do to where you can get through the entire session, push yourself. Don't make it to where it's so easy you just coast through it. Push yourself, but also pick a weight that is going to be doable for you. When I was working with athletes, you get young 18-year-olds and they just want to get big. They just want to get jacked. They just want muscle. And they want to throw around as much weight as quickly as possible. I would say to them, listen, man, you'll get there, but in the beginning, it's not about how much you do. It's about how you move with it, okay? So if you're doing bench, or if you're doing squat, if you're doing clean, if you're doing some kind of dumbbell movement, whatever, don't get lost in trying to do the big weights real quick. That's not going to get you there. You got to develop a range of motion, for a proper range of motion for all these movements. Once you get the movement down and your range of motion is good, you'll start noticing, wow, I feel stronger in these areas, because you're developing. Now that you've developed, you can increase. Once you start increasing, your body will respond to whatever stimulus you put on it. But understand this. Every beginner has some intimidation, or it's just some kind of feelings towards something that maybe they don't understand, or they see and it might look hard. That's okay. You can always scale down if you need to. Now, you got some freaks out there that scale up. We're not going to worry about those guys. I'm not one of them either. I'm not looking to do, to do Dan Bailey, Dan Bailey weights on barbell, Metcons and stuff. That's just not, it's not for me right now. But anyways, so I pretty much said all that to this guy I was having a conversation with about him looking at my programming. And I said, man, look, you just got to get started. That's all. Know what it is you want to do and get started. He asked me, can you help me get started? I said, sure, just figure out what it is you want, and we'll go from there. From the sounds of it, it's not going to be like a formal sit down, write some kind of plan out kind of stuff. That's not what this, it'll probably be just be, like, hey man, what'd you do today? Oh, I did this, and this, and my goals for this, or, and just talking back and forth. I have learned over the years too that most people don't really care too much for some kind of formal approach to fitness. They just like, a casual approach to it, because it's a very individualistic thing. And so, hopefully, if you're an individual that struggles with wanting to get started with some kind of form of fitness, you know, but you just don't know where to start, you don't know where to go. That's okay. If you look at it, if you purchase some kind of programming and you look at it and you just think, I don't even know where to get started with this, again, that's okay too. Just know the movements, follow them to the best of your ability, and always pick a weight that you can move good with. Don't go too heavy too soon. It's all about how you move with it. So there was one more thing I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. That's what happens when you rant and ramble. Oh, that's what it was. I had a good friend, and I'll wrap things up here, here real quick. But I had a good friend. He's been commenting like crazy on my whether it be on my Instagram or in these videos. This guy that keeps commenting on a lot of these, he's a buddy of mine that I've worked with in the past, and he is a golden example of what it means to be consistent with the process. Everything I just talked about a few minutes ago, he kind of fit the bill. But for, golly, man, it's been almost 10 years now since him and I worked together. And he'll tell you, put the fitness and all that stuff, aside, the time spent learning and just, growing together throughout his journey and his process, that was probably the most rewarding part of it, was just getting to be around him and getting to become better friends with him and watching him progress throughout it all. And so this guy's name is James Stone. He's put a few comments and a few videos and things. James, if you're watching this, man, thank you for that, and thank you for your support throughout this early phase of all this, because, man, I'm going to tell you, it's kind of nerve-wracking doing this because it's out of my comfort zone, but seeing your affirmation through your comments and things like that, it helps me, and it pushes me to want to continue this. So thank you, James. Hopefully in the near future we can hook up and get a workout in, and we can get you on here. But tonight, late night workout, 10 Fitness. It's going down midnight. A lot of barbell stuff. And then I think tomorrow we're going to go for a run on the 4th. But anyways, I'll have tonight's video posted at some point. So if you want to follow along with that, check it out later on. Again, thank you guys for the support, and I'll catch y'all next time.